Have you ever smiled while a part of you was quietly breaking inside? We do it all the time. We tell the world, "I'm fine." We swallow the sting of words left unsaid, the ache of being overlooked, the weight of feeling replaceable. And then we walk on, as though nothing happened. But deep down, we know it hurt. So why do we pretend it didn't? Why do we bury the bruises of the soul beneath layers of silence? There are these tiny wounds that nobody talks about. When your text just hangs there, never answered. When your birthday comes and goes, and everyone just forgot. When you finally get brave enough to share something real, and they immediately change the subject to talk about their weekend. These things don't make the news. Nobody's calling for help. But they mess with something deeper, that part of you that needs to feel like you matter, like people actually see you. And what do? We shrug it off. Whatever. No big deal. But it was a big deal. Each time it happens, it's like someone's pulling a thread from this invisible safety net you didn't even know you had, the one that makes you feel like you belong somewhere. Remember being in a crowded room but feeling completely invisible? It's such a quiet hurt, isn't it? Nobody was mean. Nobody tried to hurt you. But you left feeling like furniture. Like you could disappear and nobody would notice. And on the way home, you told yourself you were being dramatic. But here's the truth. Being invisible cuts too. Silence can leave marks. Then there are the small betrayals. The friend who swore they'd be there but never showed. The person who knew something mattered to you but treated it like garbage. The coworker who stole credit for your work. Tiny cracks, right? Nothing earth-shattering. But they echo in your chest like distant thunder. And if you've ever laid awake, replaying those moments over and over, listen. You're not weak for feeling them. You're human for carrying them. Over time, all these little things pile up. Like dust in the corners that you don't notice until one day the whole place feels stuffy. Until someone asks why you're always exhausted and you can't explain that you've been carrying invisible weights made of dismissed moments, swallowed tears, fake laughter. It's not just the big disasters that break us. It's the steady drip of hurts we were told weren't worth mentioning. We pretend they don't hurt because admitting it feels too vulnerable. The world celebrates tough people and rolls its eyes at sensitive ones. Toughen up, let it go, move on. But where do all those unspoken hurts go? They don't just vanish. They settle in your chest as that ache you can't explain. They show up as the edge in your voice you didn't mean to have. The tears that come at weird times. Buried pain doesn't disappear. It just waits. And this silent collection of hurts, it changes us. Makes us careful about getting close. Teaches us to expect less, need less, ask for less. We start building walls so nobody can see the soft spots. But those same walls keep out the good stuff too. We end up starving ourselves of the connection we actually want. It's this quiet tragedy. It's in cage. Hurt doesn't change us because it's sharp, but because we refuse to talk about it. Maybe you know that loneliness that has nothing to do with being alone. It's about being around people who don't really see you. That empty feeling after conversations where you laughed at all the right moments but walked away feeling hollower than before. That's what happens when we keep saying, "I'm fine," instead of telling the truth. But here's something I've figured out. If it hurt, it meant something. If you felt that sting, it means your heart is still alive, still trying. That's not weakness. That's proof you can still love, care, hope. It means you haven't gone numb yet. You're still open to all the messy, beautiful parts of being human, even when it aches. So how do we start healing the hurts we pretend don't exist? Not by ignoring them or beating ourselves up for feeling too much, but by naming them quietly to ourselves. By whispering, "Yeah, that actually did hurt me." By giving our pain the respect of being acknowledged. Because acknowledgement isn't weakness. It's the first step toward freedom. Sometimes healing starts small. Writing down what you never got to say, letting yourself cry without rushing to stop. Telling one person you trust, "I actually wasn't okay when that happened." or just sitting with yourself and saying, "You're allowed to feel what you feel." Healing isn't about erasing the hurt. It's about making room for it so it doesn't suffocate you. And remember, you're not the only one. Every person walking around carries these invisible bruises. The stranger on the subway, your friend who seems unbreakable, even the person who hurt you, they're all carrying silent aches too. When we remember that, it gets easier to be gentle with others, but especially with ourselves. You might never get that apology you're waiting for. Those people might never understand what they did, but you can give yourself what they couldn't: gentleness, patience, a safe space to be exactly who you are. You can be the voice that says, "I see you. You matter. I care." Sometimes that's enough to start with. Think of your heart like a garden. These unspoken hurts are weeds that grew wild. But weeds don't mean the garden is ruined. They just mean it needs some care. Pull out what doesn't belong anymore. Plant some truth in the soil of who you are. I'm worth it. I'm not too much. What I feel is real. Even the most overgrown garden can bloom again with time. Maybe healing looks pretty ordinary. Drinking water when you forgot to take care of yourself. Opening the blinds to let some light in. Taking a walk without your phone. Just pausing to breathe. Unclench your jaw. Drop your shoulders. Healing doesn't always come with fireworks. Sometimes it's as quiet as choosing not to dismiss your own pain today. As simple as deciding to stay soft in a world that tells you hard is safer, because you're not here just to survive. You're here to feel, love, laugh, belong. Yeah, hurt is part of it, but it's not the whole story. Your story is also about the strength that grew from those quiet aches. The compassion that bloomed because you know what it's like to be overlooked. The depth that comes from carrying heavy things and still choosing to open your heart again. So tonight, when you're lying there in the dark, let yourself admit what hurt. No pretending. No toughening up. Just honesty. Then tell that tender part of yourself, "You're safe here. You're allowed to be soft. You're allowed to take up space with your feelings. And you're allowed to heal, one breath at a time." The world might never fully get all the silent bruises you carry, but that doesn't make them less real. Doesn't make you less real. You're not fragile for feeling deeply. You're alive. And if your heart has cracks from all these unspoken hurts, let some light seep through those cracks. Let it remind you that healing starts with being seen, even if the first person to really see you is yourself. Right here, right now, I want you to feel something different. Not judgment, not dismissal, just presence. Someone saying, what you feel matters. What you've been carrying is heavy, and you're allowed to set it down. Even if it's just for a few minutes, you're not alone in this hurt. You're not broken, you're just human. Take this with you into tomorrow. Your small hurts deserve kindness. Your quiet aches deserve compassion. And you, exactly as you are, deserve peace. Take what helps from this moment and let the rest go. Until we meet again, I hope you can breathe a little easier. I hope you know that here, someone saw you. Someone heard you. Someone held space for all of it. This was for you.